What is up, YouTube? NES Addict here, and today I'm going to come at you with something just a little bit different, as you can see from the background. I'm going to tell you guys how this stick and this game completely changed my life. All that and more next. Alright guys, so I know this isn't my typical backdrop, but I feel like I got a second chance at a video that I did not make last year, and I just could not let this opportunity slip away. I have been a Pittsburgh Penguins fan since 1994, and they are back-to-back champs. Now this shirt was made in 91 and 92 for the 91-92 back-to-back, but that was prior to me being a fan. And I always felt like I've kind of got robbed from that experience. So let me start this all back at the beginning. Alright, so back in 1992, a movie by the name of The Mighty Ducks came out. One night my friend TJ came to spend the night, and our plan was to go see a dollar movie and then hang out. So we went to the dollar movie and he was like, hey, we should see The Mighty Ducks. And I was like, alright, you know, whatever, it's cool. Go in and I'll watch this movie. And if you've ever heard a really great song and get chill bumps, that whole movie gave me chill bumps. I had never been exposed to ice hockey before, but something about the way the Mighty Ducks made that movie look and they just made hockey seem so amazing, which I think that movie was honestly just created to start a fan base for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, which Disney owned up until maybe like the last 5 years or so. So anyway, that had a lasting impression on me. And around that time, I got some rollerblades. They were purple and green. And I wanted to play hockey so bad. So I took a boomerang and I duct taped it to a stick off a tree that was very flexible. And I took a wiffle golf ball out of my dad's golf ball bag, and I went to the parking lot next to my house because my dad was a preacher and there was a huge parking lot from our church. And I shot this stupid wiffle golf ball that was impossible to control between two parking stones, or whatever you call the things you pull up to. And my dad walked out of his office at the church and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm playing hockey. And he's like, what are you playing with? And I was like, I made a stick. And he's like, no, we're gonna go to Sports Authority and get you a real stick. This is ridiculous. So we went to Sports Authority and I got a rollerblade stick, which was actually left-handed, so I took that back. That was actually my very first stick. I had it for about a day. And I go back and I pick up a black and yellow Coho Street Revolution with some name on it that I'd never heard, M. Lemieux. Didn't know who that was. Anyway, this is that stick. It is missing the blade on it. I played with it so much that the blade broke off, but I wanted to keep it because I love the stick so much, so my mom hung wreaths on it in our rafters. So I've had it all these years, but as you see, the name there is M. Lemieux. Well, this was about the time I had my Super NES, and because I was interested in hockey, I was like, I'm gonna get a hockey game. And NHL 93 was probably, I think it was 1999 at the moment. So I get NHL 93, I put it in the Super NES, I turn the power on, and here's what I see. So you click on the game and the first two teams you see, up on one side, you have the Chicago Blackhawks. And on the other, you have the Pittsburgh Penguins. And who do you see but Jeremy Roenick and Mario Lemieux. And as soon as I saw his name and I've realized that the colors match the stick, I thought, that's the guy that has my stick, or I have his stick. So I started playing with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I learned about Ron Francis and Jaromir Jagr and Larry Murphy and Ulf and Shell Samuelson and Rick Tocchet and Tom Barrasso, and the list goes on and on and on and on of all these players that I learned. So through NHL 93, I started to have an affinity with the Pittsburgh Penguins, that and my stick. That got me watching hockey on ESPN when it would randomly come on, and I pulled for the Penguins. And here we are all these years later, and Pittsburgh has just repeated as Stanley Cup champions. And I finally feel vindicated because I missed the 91-92 season when I started watching in like 93 or 94. I know the first Stanley Cup I ever saw was Vancouver and New York, and that was freaking epic. And I actually just met the GM, Neil Smith, the other day. I'll try to post a picture in here of me and him watching Pittsburgh play Nashville. So if you are a Penguins fan, I feel you. I was born in Greenville, South Carolina. Well, I was born in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but I grew up in a little town right outside of Greenville, South Carolina. And who would have ever thought that I would be such a huge hockey fan? Like, I don't give a crap about baseball, football, soccer, anything else. Like, it's all hockey at this house. I know this isn't necessarily like completely video game related, but if it wasn't for this game, I probably wouldn't be a Penguins fan. I probably wouldn't have been able to learn rules like offsides and icing. And this game was so awesome. I mean, it had everything. I mean, you could knock people out of the game. You could fight. You could score. And I also learned this really cool glitch that I'll put in here, where if you were going towards the bottom of the screen, you could cut around the goalie and he would get stuck on the right side, and it was an easy goal every time, which I know is super cheap, but you had to win, right? You could also win the Stanley Cup on there, which was really cool. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share my love for the Pittsburgh Penguins and tell how a freaking Super Nintendo game turned it all on for me. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. I'm going to sport some of my old paraphernalia that I had as a kid, and some that I got as an adult. I need the new 2017 hat, which I'll be getting soon. So anyway, if you like this video, or like the Pittsburgh Penguins, or like hockey, leave a comment down below. And until next time, take care. But right now, enjoy the fashion show. It's a lot. So sit back and relax. So quick story about this card, just to finish it off. There was a little book when I was in 8th grade, and it had a Mario Lemieux's address. So I sent him a letter with a self-addressed envelope inside. A couple weeks later, I got this back. Still have the envelope too. Guys, if you made it through all those crazy outfits and retro Pittsburgh Penguins stuff, awesome. Here's to another great year of being a Pittsburgh Penguin fan and a Stanley Cup champion. I guess I'm not really a champion, but you know what I mean. Take care.